All right, you guys, this next problem, it's in Algebra 2, and we're doing lesson 2.2, and it's actually a really great problem. If you learn how to use your matrices and the matrix calculator, it's really not that bad. If you didn't learn how to do it, lesson 2.2 again, problem 4, which again, let me write my other number here in case I ever need that. All right. So it kind of goes like this. So each one of these here is an X and a Y, right? These are each an X value and a Y value. And what we're going to be able to do, because in our standard form of an equation, ax squared plus bx plus c, like y equals, we can get an equation then for each of these points. So if I take the first one here, 0, 5, that means each of these x's were zeros, right? And the y was a 5. And then I just put these in here. And we might not even need to do this, but I'm going to show you it this way anyway, because it works for any point. They told you the y-intercept here, which actually is very nice and helpful because it solves for one of these already. But because this would just be that 5 equals c, correct? Like there's no a's and no b's, and there's one c. And then if you go to the next equation, so let's say we jump down here to this 2, 13. That'd be my y is the 13. A is still a. The 2 is the x. So then I would have, again, this x and this x, I'm changing to the x values of that order pair. So then this gives me the equation 13 equals 4a, that's 4 from this 2 squared, plus 2b, that's right here, plus c. And then I wanted to go back and also write that first equation that we had there. We had a 5 equals 0a plus 0b plus c. All right, and now we're going to go to the last one. We got one more point here that we need to do. So I'm going to do this for -3. So I got -3, and the a stays here. The -3 is squared. It's the -3. The b is there times the x. I'm doing bx right here. The first one was ax squared. And again, my x this time is 4. Oops. And the plus c. I'm glad I looked at that. Got the wrong thing. This should be in -4 in here squared. The x was the, oh, that's a +4. Ooh. Let's see. So let's see if I get this right here. -3, the y, right there. And then I've got a +4 squared, so that's 16a. And then a 4b right here. And my c. Now, normally the way we were doing these before, all this equals sign was over on the far right side. So I'm going to write it that way here with my matrix, and then do my reduced row echelon form that we did. So that was 0, 0, 1. And then remember we said sometimes I put this vertical line in here to separate the variable side of the matrix from the answers, and the 5 would go over there. Now the blue row, the 4, 2, it's the coefficients, remember, and you got to have them all lined up, all the A's in this column, all the B's in this column, all the C's before you do this. The 13, and then we would have the 16, this is the green row on the bottom, and the 4, the 1 equal to the -3. All right, then remember how we did this? You could do it by hand in this one, because since you know the value of c on all these is 5, then you'd have 2 equations with 2 variables. But I like let's see, I'm going to go back to the regular Desmos here. Take off the calculator part. All right, I think that gives me a pop-up. Oh, it's right there. Leave that screen. Get my toolbar on top of switch from the math tools to the matrix calculator. Hopefully you guys remember this if you watched it at all. We want a new matrix. It's the screen matrix over on the right side of the screen here was 3 rows and 4 columns. So I got to click down here to add another row and add 2 more columns. And then we just type it in. So I've got my 0, 0, 1, 5, 4, 2, 1. That green matrix in the bottom right is what I'm typing in right now. 13, 16, 4, 1, -3. And again, we could have done this by hand. If you want, I can show you that after we get done here. And then it's so easy. You enter your matrix. You change it into the reduced row echelon in the bottom left corner there, RREF on the matrix calculator. And you put in your matrix A. And over there on the right, it just spits out the answer. It does all the arithmetic for us. So nice to not have to do all that like I had to before. So our answers, the A is -3, the B is 10, and the C is 5. All right, so the other way to have done this problem, if we went back here, we could go back to the Sabbath to work on this, I guess. So if you go back here, from the red equation that we had, this one right here, we had that C equals 5. So then when you went to the blue one and the green one, and you put the C's of 5 in there. So I'll do the blue one in blue again. So that would have given me 13 equals 4A plus 2B plus 5, but then we're going to subtract that 5 to the other side. That'll give me an 8 equals 4A plus 2B. And then let's see the green equation. If I had gone over there and put that 5 in, subtracted the 5 over to that side, that would be a -8. And I would have had 16A plus 4B there, the 16A and 4B right there. Now remember the elimination method, like we would look for how we want to get rid of a variable. I'm looking at this equation and thinking if I multiply by a 2, that would give me a -4B here. So when I added these two together, they cancel. So that's the thing. You could have won a -4 and then the A's would have canceled. But I'm gonna multiply the -2 all the way through. So that gives me a -16. When I multiply by that 8, -2 times the 4 is a -8A. And the -2 times this 2 is a -4B. So then the B's cancel. It gives me 8A equals -8, -16 there is -24. So you divide by the 8 and A would have been -3. That's some of this is kind of like what the reduced row echelon is doing for us. So we got our C of 5, our A of -3, and we could plug those both in and get the B of 10. But that's the kind of stuff that you're doing when you're working on that problem. So what did they ask us? What did the Y equal? Oh, what's this say? Find the equation, the quadratic oh, they want us to type in the equation. The equation of the parabola is Y equals A -3 X shift 6 for a caret squared arrow to the right to get out of there. Plus the B, so plus 10X, and then plus the C, which was 5. All right, again, sorry about that. Kind of a long explanation showing you all those different ways you could do the problem. Let's check it. And there we go. So good luck on yours. Hopefully that helps you.